What's up, YouTube? This is GroudonEmpire, and I am back for another game, part of the OU Wi-Fi tournament that I participated in, Pre-Greninja ban. And this is game 5, technically speaking, but of the games that were available in the recordings, this is game 4. So if you're following the content and not so much regarding the actual tournament itself, this is game 4. And as you can see, my team is different. And the reason that happened is because my opponent was not using a copy of Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. They were using X and Y. So I had to change my Beedrill to a Pokemon that was not an ORAS exclusive. So I cannot use, like, for example, you can use a Pokemon like a move tutor from ORAS or a specific level up move from ORAS in X and Y. But you can't use Primal Groudon, Mega Rayquaza, or the new Megas in X and Y. So that's an example. So I replaced my Beedrill with Mega Gyarados. And let me tell you something. This team is freaking scary, even without the Beedrill. I want you guys to keep this team in mind, because this team will be very important to keep in mind of later down the line. And you guys will see what I mean. You'll see what I mean. Anyway, that's enough for this team thingy. So really, when I change from Gyarados to Beedrill to Gyarados, I lose out on the U-turn, the fast U-turns, and I lose out on the the scouting, the fast hit and run, and just killing off part of things. But I have a Gyarados. Gyarados, Intimidate, and Mega Gyarados, which is just it has Umbreon bulk, okay, natural Umbreon bulk, and then it has Dragon Dance and Amazing Stab. As of X and Y, as of ORAS, it has Crunch. It's better to have Waterfall, honestly, but I mean, I have Crunch because this is the same. Spoiler alert, again, if you guys are interested in my Mega Gyarados team for Battle Spot Single, I didn't do that yet. That's going to be one of the last teams I end up using. And this is the same Gyarados, so that's why it has Crunch, Dragon Dance, Earthquake, and Ice Fang. So, yeah. So let's get right into my opponent's team. So in team summary, when I see his team, I know right away, I don't need to do anything. All I need to do right now is to make sure that Medicham does not put my Talonflame in Fake Out range. So then I can Brave Bird the Nidoking is done. You know, so yeah, basically my win condition for this game is simple. Set up rocks, okay? I need to set up rocks. And what I need to do is I need to make sure that Azumarill can take enough damage to it gets into Brave Bird range. Same thing for the Prankster Sableye. And just a little bit of chip damage is enough for the Garchomp to end up going down. And honestly, yo, that's all I need. So I need to set up rocks. So what I do first turn is I don't see anything crazy on his team, so I just start off with my Landorus first turn. Unfortunately, I don't have Beedrill. It's all right. I just start off with Landorus, and we'll get right into this battle. So again, I need Garchomp to take. I need Rock setup. I need Garchomp to take chip damage. I need the Sableye to take at least 40% damage. And I need that Azumarill to take like 40 or 30% damage, and I can just Brave Bird everything and I win. So that's really what this game is all gonna come down to. Just Talonflame wrecking house. First turn, I'm super afraid of my opponent being I'm not Scarfed, okay? So first turn, I'm super afraid of getting 1-hit KO'd, so I just switch out. I don't even U-turn. I switch out right away, right out into the Starmie, predicting an Ice Beam, so that's great. If my opponent is Scarfed, I can go for a Psyshock next turn. If my opponent wasn't, I can just, Psyshock and kill it first turn. That's great. So I went for a Psyshock versus my Azumarill. Now my opponent is in range for the Brave Bird, destroying everything. So next turn, I end up going out into the Landorus, not Talonflame, because he can switch out into something and it wouldn't be a nice time. I don't want to take useless recoil. So I set up Stealth Rock because I find this opportunity a great time to go for Stealth Rock. And if Landorus ends up going down, that's alright too. But what I end up doing this turn is I see that damage and I'm like, okay, my opponent's probably banded in some way or something. Maybe, I don't know. I switch out into my Magnezone. So I U-turn because I don't need to worry about anything else. I just U-turn and I go out into Mana Zone because I'm faster, so I can just U-turn, go into Mana Zone, and I do end up doing that. Actually, no, I go for an Earthquake. That's interesting. So, wow, alright. So never mind everything I just said. I went for an Earthquake. I went for an Earthquake because I was going to sack off my Landorus to the Azumarill. So that was what I was going for, and that's interesting. That really is. That's. Anyways, this turn I go for a U-turn, and then I switch. Actually, no. Oh, yes. Okay, so I'm afraid of Aqua Jet because I want to die to a banded Aqua Jet at that point, I'm pretty sure. So I switch out into the Magna Zone because I want to save my Landorus for Intimidate onto the Medicham. And now he's going to switch out into something, not Nidoking because he's out. So I can, but he does have the Garchomp. So I go for a Flash Cannon because it does neutral damage. So I want to do damage. That's all I need to really do. And Mana Zone can go down, and I can just Brave Bird everything. The Sableye is still an issue, though, so that's still a thing. He goes for an Outrage. I don't know why. Probably predicting me to switch out into Landorus. So my opponent over-predicted this turn, and they're going to pay for that. They're going to pay for that big time. Because if they just Earthquake, they would have been in good shape. But it's alright. It's alright. But yeah, that turn he switched out to Nidoking. That's pretty risky. That's pretty risky. I mean, I could have U-turned. I was going to U-turn, and then I could have went into the appropriate Pokemon anyway. So I think that was very risky and unnecessary, but it's whatever. It's too late. Now he switches out into the Medicham after his Garchomp is down from the Flash Cannon. And I just switch out, hard switch into my Landorus because Intimidate is nice. And then what I can do, at this point I basically win with Brave Bird because I can 2-hit KO the Sableye. And I can 1-hit KO everything else. So I win at this point. But the game ends up going on for like 16 more turns. So yeah, there's really nothing much to say. He goes for a Psycho Cut. I go for a knockoff. It really doesn't matter. I just predicted him to switch out into Sableye. And I want to get rid of leftovers. But yeah, really my opponent is done at this point. I really don't have to worry about anything. Crit doesn't matter because Landorus doesn't matter. I just need Talonflame. And I bring Talonflame in. And I go for Brave Bird. Or do I go for a U-turn? I go for a U-turn. Do I go for a U-turn? Do I go for Brave Bird? I go for a Brave Bird. Yeah, alright. So I go for Brave Bird because I want Medicham to go down. Because at the end of the day, like, I think I still have a Magna Zone. I still have Magna Zone for Sableye, so it's like I don't have to worry. And what else does he have? I can kill. Well, yeah. I went for the Brave Bird because I 2-hit KO everything or 1-hit KO everything. So I just Brave Bird everything at this point. And yeah, he should not have went out into his. What is this thing called? Volcarona. He should have went out into his Sableye and kept on recover stalling me because he doesn't. I don't know. Honestly, my opponent loses at this point. Like, honestly, my opponent should have went out to Medicham instead of Volcarona. So, yeah, it doesn't matter what my opponent would have done. Like, to be completely fair here, honest, my opponent lost once I got enough damage onto everything else. So, at that turn, I went out into my Medicham because I don't want Fake Out to, like, tear me up, right? So I'll switch out to Gyarados to make the safest play, get the Intimidate off, and then next turn I can Dragon Dance. Alright? And all I need, and hear me straight guys, all I need right now is to put Sableye in Brave Bird range. Because I know for a fact that Talonflame's not going to die to a Fake Out from a Medicham. So all I need is Sableye to be in Brave Bird range, and this is game. So, and I'm pretty sure I can do that easily. I Mega Evolve right now to get extra bulk, even though I'm extra, okay, alright, to get Stab Crunch. Because I have Crunch on this, so I don't have Waterfall. I have Stab Crunch, so I want to end up getting a Stab Crunch. If you end up missing Will-O-Wisp, it would have been game. Sooner than whatever, but again, I'm just going to go for Crunch. I want to get my minimum damage. See, well, the crit doesn't matter because it would have still did enough damage so that I can put this Sableye to rest with a banded Brave Bird once my Gyarados would go down. So you're going to end up seeing a recover stall right now, and usually people will probably quit if they were losing at this point, but I'm winning, so I have no reason to forfeit. So I'm just gonna Dragon Dance because I want to just get that extra Dragon Dance and just keep on crunching away at my opponent, because maybe I got a high roll, maybe I got a low roll, I don't know. It was a crit, so it's hard to tell. So what I'm gonna end up doing now is I'm gonna end up just crunching all day, and he ends up going for the taunt, and that's nice and all. It doesn't really matter because now I'm guaranteed to be in a situation where Talonflame wins the game for me. So I pretty much win at this point. So yeah. Remember guys, my channel is mostly a channel made for specifically for BattleSpot single content, because the highest level BattleSpot single content with 1900 stuff and 1800s and 2000 stuff is from Japanese YouTubers. And in terms of English speaking YouTubers, nobody does serious competitive BattleSpot single content. And you know, I actually hit 1917 in X and Y, and spoiler alert, you know, I haven't really shown you guys what I've ended up getting so far in terms of the highest performance, because I am doing some mega requests for a certain subscriber at the moment, so I'm not doing super serious laddering yet, but I have in my alone time hit like 1794 so far. So yeah, and doing requests, I do get salty a lot, so that is something to keep in mind. But typically I don't get salty when I'm doing battles. It's just when I'm using Pokemon that I really don't want to be using, things happen, alright? Things that have been happening. But I am doing requests, so it's alright, it's alright. As long as Hondurinho and other of you guys end up enjoying my BattleSpot single content that I'm doing for the requests of the certain megas, it's really all that matters. And after I'm done with that stuff, I will end up finding the team that I want to use to ladder with in BattleSpot single, with a less salty attitude. Alright, so this stalling war has gone on for long enough. This turn I go for a crunch, and the Sableye is gone. Well, it's not going to get fainted, I don't think, but Talonflame will come in, take minimal recoil, go first, Brave Bird, it's done, and then Medicham is done, and this entire team is done. So that's a good game. It's a good game for me. I mean, good game for my opponent, good game for me. That's a good game for all of us. That was a good game. That was a good game. It was a lot longer than it had to be. Honestly, man, my opponent should have forfeited, but it's alright, it's alright. I respect the spirit. I respect the spirit. I'm glad they didn't DC though, because that would have been terrible. Then I wouldn't be able to record this and upload. That would have been terrible. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world, but I mean, I guess it's whatever. But yeah, definitely, if you're interested in competitive BattleSpot single stuff, subscribe to the channel. There's a team building guide for BattleSpot single if you want to get into it. And my commentary is to help you guys ease into the actual metagame. For you guys that don't want to just start making a team and you don't know what to really, if you guys just don't know what to expect from the format and whatnot, because low ladder is a lot different than what you're going to face on high ladder and mid ladder and stuff. That's really important to keep in mind. Alright, and this is game over. I switched down to Mana Zone because I didn't want to die to a fake out, and also I make the score closer for my opponent. It's fine, you know, it's all good, it's all nice, it's whatever. Score doesn't matter. At the end of the day, all that matters is that I end up winning. That's all that really matters. So I'm not sure if it's a 3-0, a 2-0, or a 4-0. I don't really care what it is, but I ended up winning. That's what's really important, all right? And I was in control the entire time, so I'm glad with that. I'm pretty sure that was like a 2-0 or a 3-0. I don't know. A 2-0 probably, whatever, I don't know. But good game to my opponent, Kanishk. Hope you subscribe to the channel and let everyone know about this battle that you had. You know, share this channel with all the peoples and all you guys that like this content. Remember to show your support, click that like button, share the video, tell people that like this kind of stuff. Follow me on Twitter. If you don't have a Twitter, make a Twitter and follow me, and ask, you know, tweet at me, you know, ask me questions, battle requests and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? And yeah, so this is GroudonEmpire. Peace out.